Well, that's a beautiful sight. And an all too rare one for the past 15 months. That is Paris right there. But not Paris, France. That is Paris at the World Showcase in EPCOT. And this, well, it's the Sometimes Vlog, yeah, yeah. I really can't scream the yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. Ouch. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. The reason I can't scream, of course, is because still as I stand here, it is only one day, 24 hours ago, one day since I was in the Magic Kingdom for the last day, the final day of Splash Mountain. Less than 24 hours ago were all the last and final splashes of the night. Actually, we're gonna go down here for a little bit and look over the World Showcase Lagoon. And I was out there with Adam the Woo and many hundreds of other people until after midnight. The last log didn't come down till around midnight, I would say, and that was full of cast members. Cast members had actually switched off so that other cast members could go ahead of them, and it was wild. There were hundreds of people out there screaming and applauding, and of course, I still kind of got a little bit of a scratchy voice going today. I screamed myself hoarse. Could have been worse though. Could have screamed myself cow. Look at the World Showcase Lagoon. I'm enjoying a piping hot, well, I'm not enjoying it yet, but I've got here a piping hot 50th anniversary blend Joffrey's coffee because I'm desperate. If I don't have coffee now, I might die. I have been out all day long filming and experimenting. Perhaps you may have seen another Sometimes vlog, excuse me, Sometimes blog. That's for the future. Someday we'll start the Sometimes blog. It'll just be old blog posts from other people's blogs that have been long outdated, you know, blogs like what I did on 10/15/2005 or something. I can't even speak. I did an experimental vlog earlier. I don't know that that will ever see the light of day. But I thought, you know what, before I leave Walt Disney World, I'll have one more quick conversation with you guys. Now, I meant to do a lot more testing and trying. Oh, look at Spaceship Earth far in the distance there. I meant to do more testing and trying and more Sometimes vlogs. Adam and I wanted to do one when we were at EPCOT the other day. Perhaps you've seen that episode now. I rode Guardians of the Galaxy. We hung out all day long. But we never really got a chance to. We kind of like, when we hook up, we slog through. We're like Voltron. We become super powerful. We were filming that video from morning. I was here at basically park opening. He met me around noon, something like that. And we filmed until pretty close to EPCOT's closing. So there really wasn't any daylight hours left to do any, you know, Sometimes vlogging or filming, although he was intrigued with the idea. He's a little reticent to do it in a theme park, and I don't blame him because most of the time if I'm in a park, I get interrupted quite a bit, particularly in Florida for some reason. Florida or original Disneyland, I'll get stopped quite a lot. And so it's hard to do anything kind of unedited or off the cuff or anything like that. That's why there's so many kinds of Random Land, because people will talk to me all the time. So I can only get a few seconds off before getting interrupted in certain places. But today has been really quiet. I think a lot of the diehard people and a lot of the people that would have recognized me were here yesterday at Magic Kingdom, where I was, for the closing of Splash Mountain. And I think perhaps most of them are as tired as I am. I mean, Adam and I must have talked to, several hundred people yesterday, just talking, and that's part of why the voice is lost. It wasn't just the screaming at the end, but you talk all day long and with very little liquid, very little drink, and you will be hoarse, of course. So I'm just walking around Epcot now. I have been in all, well, I will have been in all 4 parks by the end of the day today. My brain is totally fried from last night, and then I went to Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios for a little bit, and then rode the boat over here to Epcot because the Skyliner, the Sky Buckets were closed. Look at this. This box right here with the maps and prints and old French books and cheesy Parisian souvenirs, just like real Paris. There are so many of those along the banks of the Seine near, near the Eiffel Tower, yes, but more so near, what's it called? Oh my gosh, why? Notre Dame. Oh, the old Cathedral of Notre Dame. I can't wait until that is restored and reopened and I can go back inside of it once again. Notre Dame burned down and the world just hasn't been the same ever since. There's a guy yelling extra, extra. He wanted to be funny and give you a little joke. I love dad jokes. One of my favorite things is being in line or being around Disney World and just hearing all of the dad jokes. All the dads trying to make their kids laugh. All the dads trying to make the boat laugh or something like that. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I'm dying. I'm dying of tired, and I'm dying of lack of caffeine, having gone now to 3 parks. This is the 3rd park that I've entered, mostly just because I don't think I can stand coming to Walt Disney World without at least doing 4 parks in a day one time. Unlike the old days though, now you can only park after 2 p.m. And so I slept in a little bit. By sleeping, I still didn't sleep 8 hours, but I didn't get up at 6 or anything. I got up probably 10 o'clock. I was in, where did I go? Animal Kingdom by noon. And then by the time I left there and got into Hollywood Studios, it was probably 3 o'clock. And now I'm here at Sunset. It's around 5 p.m. And yeah, I'm pretty tired. Haven't had any caffeine really all day since I woke up this morning. And so I've ordered this coffee, but it is way too hot to drink. And it's driving me nuts because I really need it, you know? Anyway, so I'm in the middle kind of filming a random land adventure around the world, but I don't have cohesive thoughts. I don't have thoughts that work or a brain that works until I've consumed this evil bean that I need so much. So I'm going to have the bean juice once it is cool enough to drink, and then I'll get back to the real filming. In fact, I only have a little bit of battery here to talk to you. Look at it. I like this. Psychology. Look at that. Businessman. Ooh, dentist. Wow. Maybe we could get some dentistry done over here. Let's go in. The dentist must be gone today. It is mostly dresses and fezzes. Ooh, look at this. Look at that. It's like Moroccan Tupperware. Look at all that stuff. Oh, they actually sell these little signs in here. That's interesting. Now, I've never been to Morocco, the real Morocco. I've been to the EPCOT Morocco many times, but I've never been to the real Morocco. Is this something that's common? Do they have these signs all over the city or something like that, all over Morocco, and then you're supposed to pick them up here? Sort of like when you go to France, they really do have little metal Eiffel Towers everywhere for sale. So if you buy one of those, you're legitimately buying something somebody would have bought in Paris. Ah, look here, the spices. We got the spice trade. This is the stuff that Han Solo was smuggling on the Millennium Falcon when he did the Kessel Run. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Many more people actually would know what I'm talking about than used to know what I'm talking about because you've seen the movie Solo. Weird. It's weird that that movie exists. And in less than 12 parsecs, right? And back in the day, parsecs just sounded like a fast unit of time. Must have sounded that way to George Lucas too, but it turns out parsec is a measure of distance technically. So they retconned it by having that new Disney Solo movie, and he's jumping all through space in weird ways, and I don't really understand all that part, but that movie actually got a bad rep because that movie, honestly, of the Disney Star Wars movies, was definitely not the worst. Maybe not the best, but it was definitely not that bad of a movie. I think The Last Jedi just exhausted people. It was too much, and the fandom was too divided. There was too much controversy at that time. People were upset about Luke Skywalker, and they did not want to go to the theater and see Han Solo get ruined, so it didn't have the box office they were expecting, and so it's kind of known as a failure. I don't think that movie was really actually a cinematic failure. In fact, if that movie was about John Bolo instead of Han Solo, I think a lot of people would have really liked it. It's just that it was a Han Solo movie, so people just didn't like their old-timey characters messed with. I can't really blame them for that because as an old school Star Wars fan myself, or a fan of like lots of different things, I don't really need origin stories or backstories or prequel stories to characters that I love. They're already established, we know and love them. I just like to see them go on further adventures. Even if they had recast Han Solo, but he was still like, you know, middle-aged Han Solo, doing his thing, flying the Falcon around. He was already a cocky smuggler. I think that would have been better. I don't know why I'm talking about Star Wars. I was walking around Animal Kingdom earlier today and thinking about anything, like movies. I was thinking about, well, that started because I saw Avatar Town earlier, and I was talking about how I haven't seen Avatar 2 yet, and Avatar was very impressive to me in 3D in the theaters, but then when I got it on DVD and watched it in 2D in my home, I was like, oh, I really don't care too much for this story or anything like that. and how that can be controversial. And so I got on this whole movie tangent, walking around Animal Kingdom, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was looking to. It's been a long time since I was in the sometimes vlog mode, where we're walking, talking, soaking it in with the eyes, and then immediately spitting back out what we're looking at out of my mouth. So I'm still getting back into the vibe, back into the groove. Adam and I were talking about that, like, you develop or change a certain style if you're really thinking about your craft or your filmmaking stuff, and a certain mode of being a presenter or presenting things, and you can get in a certain rhythm. And so if you have like 2 shows, like both of us used to have edited and unedited videos, and if you get into the edited mode, it is hard to get into the unedited off the cuff mode. If you're in the unedited off the cuff mode, it's hard to get back into that rhythm of editing. And it's interesting because when the 2 of us were filming together the other day, it took a while for us to get sort of in a rhythm together. He was good on my rhythm because he's sort of familiar with it, but he's changed his style a lot over the last few years, and it took a while for me to get into his new rhythm. A lot longer shots, a lot more talking. You know, he'll do something like, I'm over here in Japan. There's a please enter sign over here. I wonder if they ever used to come out of this area. You know, he'll do like these long things, and I'm never sure if I'm standing next to him. Does he want me to chime in? So I would chime in, and he'd be like, huh? You know, break his concentration. So it's interesting. It's interesting to not film with someone for a long time that you used to film with all the time, and then jump back in. It's probably a lot like playing with someone in a band that you haven't played with in a long time, to jump back in and kind of find your rhythm, the groove together. Anyway, we're very low on battery now. So if I suddenly disappear, just pretend I said go home and sleep well and all the other normal stuff. And there's no comments on this channel for lots of reasons, which I'm sure we'll discuss over time. But if you'd like to leave a comment and tell me, how's the sound? You'll notice I have a little microphone right here, but it's right on the bag strap. And I'm not sure if that's rubbing against the jacket. If you're hearing lots of extra noise, does it sound okay? Let me know over on Facebook in the Facebook group. There's a link in the description. I put lots of links in the description. I hope you click on them from time to time. Anyway, I've been very emotional this week. It's been a long time since I've been to Disney World, way too long. Hopefully I'll never have a gap that long ever again, because I love Walt Disney World. It's been part of Randomland since before so much of the current Disney sort of media has existed, you know, all the different, both their media and a lot of the independent stuff and YouTube stuff. And I would like that tradition to continue. I would like to stay a part of Walt Disney World. It feels like a second home to me, but it feels like I had left my second home, and it took a long time to have that homecoming. And I've been very emotional too, because I was thinking about, you know, times I've been here with London when he was really little, my son, who's now 15, and he's got school, so he's not here with me. Plus he had time with his mother right now. And it was just, you know, going back to the Fort Wilderness cabins and opening the door and thinking like, what if I saw my 8-year-old son there? And so little cats in the cradle and the silver spoon type stuff. And thinking about Allie, because it had been 1 year ago. She was still in the hospital 1 year ago as I stand here. She was still in the hospital, basically dying, and it was the scariest week of my life. Here I am 1 year later. Not only is she better and going back to school tomorrow for fashion design, she's back, enrolled back in college. But here I am on the shores, on the shore. The shores of the World Showcase Lagoon. All right, anyway, I'm off to America really quick, just to say hello to the land of my birth, I guess. No, I don't need to go to America, I need to go to Japan. I was in Japan, what am I doing? I'm back to film Randomland. I can feel the drink cooling down, but I just wanted to bring you guys here for a little bit of EPCOT sunset. Whoop! Sorry. It's okay. A little bit of enjoyment. I don't know why the lady on the left apologized. She wasn't running being wild. It's just good to be back. Just a little dipping the toe in the water situation. Wasn't back for too long. Wasn't back for a month like at times I've come in the past. But I hope to, if I can't come for long periods of time again, I hope to at least come back more often. And so I appreciate all the people who check out the Sick merch store and, of course, become members over on Patreon. Got little membership pins coming out for the certain tiers and all this different kind of stuff going on over there. Lots of stuff, podcasts coming up, and there's just a lot going on, a lot coming up. But I appreciate every single one of you, especially those of you who come over back to the Sometimes vlog, back over to this channel as we're getting it kind of revved up, the engine's starting up. So I didn't want to leave Disney World without saying hello once again on the Sometimes vlog to my friends. So I'm gonna drink this coffee, be a little bit emotional, think about plans for the rest of the year, and then I'll have done my duty. And like you, I can go home and sleep well. See you real soon.